Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. It's CJ Curry, and it's the CJ Curry Show, and it's presented by PrizePicks. If you're not playing on PrizePicks yet, guys, now is a great time to get signed up. It's Taco Tuesday, meaning we're going to get some discounted player projections throughout the day on the PrizePicks board. That's one reason. The second reason is if you've never played on PrizePicks before and it's your first time depositing, you're going to get a 100% instant deposit match up to $100 when you use promo code Curry. That's right. Every dollar you put in, all the way up to $100, they're going to match it dollar for dollar, making your first entry on PrizePicks completely free. Head down to the description. There's a link down there for you to get signed up and to get playing on PrizePicks today. All right. Shout out to everybody who's here with me this morning. I see a lot of folks already lined up in the chat. Shout out to Peyton. Shout out to Sterling. Shout out to Anthony. I see Ryan in the building. Captain King, aka the Sniper. If you're in our Patreon and in our Discord, that's the Sniper, in case y'all didn't know. Chris Raptor's in the building. Shout out to you as well. Everyday Fantasy, aka my man Don P is here. We got Peyton, Benjamin J, Full A Metal K. It must be a poker player. Is that Ace King? Is that like your favorite hand or something? Let me know. We got Brian Chavez in the building. We got Kyle Kaz in the building. Tyrone's here. T-Bone, shout out to you. We got Justin here. Thank you so much for letting everybody know to slap the like button. That's right. If you're not subscribed yet, if you have not hit the like button, you're going to want to make sure you do both, because I give away a free entry to my subscribers, to my viewers, to my commenters every single day. We'll be picking a winner from yesterday's show in just a moment here on today's show. Two-pick power play to win $100 over on PrizePicks. That's the way we roll. JO2, shout out to you. What do we think about Zion over points? Well, I've already taken it with the Lionel Messi taco. That's right, it's Taco Tuesday. First taco of the day is already up on the PrizePicks board. Head over to the soccer section if you haven't seen it yet. The World Cup is coming to an end. This is going to be our last World Cup Taco Tuesday, so I'm taking advantage. I'm going to take the Lionel Messi taco. Don't know a lot about soccer, but I do know one thing. Messi's one of the GOATs when it comes to the soccer game. So I'm going to go ahead and take him, and hopefully him and Argentina have a great game today for us. So yeah, I took Zion Williamson over 26.5 points. He was at 25.5 points. If you got him at 25.5 or 26.5, I don't mind either one. So that's what I paired the Lionel Messi taco with, in case you were wondering. Hayes, what's up to you? Javon's in the building. Dustin, good to see you here. We got She Love Jesse in the building, and Bearded Gators here as well. Appreciate all of you folks for being here. Yeah, guys, we have a smaller NBA slate today, but small things, what do they say? Let me back that up. Big things come in small packages. Take that for what you will. It's a small slate of NBA games, but it looks like a lot of exciting NBA games, close competitive ones. Doesn't look like there's any projected blowouts. And on top of that, we've got very high totals. All of the totals are around 230 or more points today. So that means it looks like a good night for some overs. Hopefully all the games do stay close and competitive, and we don't have to deal with any type of blowouts or injuries. Speaking of injuries, for those of you folks that watch the NFL, we had two big injuries last night. Kyler Murray looks like he has torn his ACL. He's probably done for the year. And then we had Stevenson for the New England Patriots get hurt too. I know some people who play the season-long fantasy football leagues, this is not a good time. If you're a Kyler Murray owner, if you're a DeAndre Hopkins owner, or if you're a Stevenson owner, it's not a good time for these guys to be getting hurt heading into the playoffs here for fantasy football leagues. But anyway, on to today's NBA slate. We got to pick us a winner from yesterday's show. Every single day, guys, you can get qualified to win one of these free two-pick. It's a risk-free two-pick power play on PrizePicks. If you are selected from the comment section of the replays of these shows, these live streams that I do, if you're selected, I'll set you up with a two-pick power play. It's risk-free, meaning you just got to get both picks right. Just like a regular two-pick power play, get both picks right and you win $100 on PrizePicks. So I'm selecting somebody randomly from the comment section of every one of these live streams, not from the live chat. Don't get confused with the live chat. You got the live chat, which is what you guys are talking to me live in the chat right now. But then you have the comment section. So when the replay of this goes up on YouTube, go down to the comment section. You comment your favorite pick of the night. Doesn't have to be one of the picks I've talked about. It could be one of the picks that you're liking. Maybe somebody sees that, they tail it, and they ended up, winning an entry because of your comment. But yeah, I select somebody from the comment section, free two-pick power play to win $100. So let's go ahead and select a winner from yesterday's show, yesterday's comment section. Appreciate that. We had over 30 comments left yesterday. As a matter of fact, it was a total of 38 comments. As you can see, amount of unique comments, 38. So 38 people left a comment. All right, so we've already got those comments loaded up here in this random YouTube comment picker. So I'm just going to hit the start button here, and then it's going to automatically select somebody. Hopefully we don't get any duplicates. All right, it looks like our winner from yesterday's show, yesterday's comment section, the winner is Magikarp Johnson. Magikarp Johnson, you have won. His comment was Kyrie over PRA was his favorite play on the board. I don't know if Kyrie hit or not. That's really irrelevant. It doesn't matter. I mean, obviously, I would like your comments to be winning pick comments, but in this case, all I ask is that you leave a comment with your favorite pick of the day, and Magikarp Johnson did that. So as long as you're subscribed, you've hit the like button, you've left a comment, you're automatically qualified. So he's going to win himself a risk-free 2-pick power play to potentially win $100 over on PrizePicks. So Mr. Magikarp Johnson, please DM me to receive your risk-free 2-pick power play. All right, you could DM me on Twitter at Curry the Creator. Guys, give me a follow if you're not following yet. Or you can DM me in our private Discord. Down in the description below, it's a free Discord link. You guys can jump in there. I've got bots set up, news bots set up. Totally free for all that stuff. So either DM me on Discord or DM me on Twitter at Curry the Creator. Congratulations to Magikarp Johnson. All right, let's move forward. Let's figure out who today's Dribble mystery player is. We're not doing Pirtle today. We're going to switch it up. We're going to do some Dribble. So we have to figure out how we could connect Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves to Larry Nance Jr. We're looking for a mutual teammate, right? So my mind automatically goes to, has there been any players in the NBA right now who have both played with Anthony Edwards and Larry Nance Jr.? We know that Larry Nance Jr. has been around the block. He's been on a few teams, New Orleans Pelicans, Los Angeles Lakers, Portland Trail Blazers. Am I missing any teams? Meanwhile, Anthony Edwards has pretty much just been with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Pretty young player, hasn't really moved around from team to team a whole lot. So guys, let me know if there's any players that stand out to you. Let me know. I see we've got a couple of new subscribers. Fundamentals, thank you for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Appreciate you being here. We got Steven Maxey, just subscribed to the channel. Thank you for subscribing as well. Appreciate it. Break me off with some guesses, man. Let me know what you guys got. We got Anthony Edwards and Larry Nance Jr. We're trying to connect the two. Cavaliers, yep, Joseph. Good point. Larry Nance did make a stop with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Totally forgot about that. But yeah, Nance has been around the block. He's well-traveled, so to speak. Rajon Rondo. Javon throwing out Rajon Rondo. My only question with Rondo is this. I don't think Rondo and Anthony Edwards have ever played together. I don't think Rondo has made a stop with Minnesota. Rondo is another guy who's been around the block, been around the corner, right? But I don't think he's ever played with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Correct me if I'm wrong. Patrick Beverley could be an interesting guess. We know Pat Bev currently playing with the Los Angeles Lakers, but he was with the Minnesota Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards at one point in time, not too long ago. But has he played with Larry Nance Jr.? Nance was on the Lakers. He's been on the Pelicans. He's been on the Cavaliers. He's been on the... what was the other team? I named a few teams. I don't think Pat Beverley's ever played with Larry Nance Jr. D'Angelo Russell could be interesting. D'Angelo Russell might be the right guess. Has D'Angelo Russell and Larry Nance Jr. played together? I think they have. I think if we go back to the Los Angeles Lakers days, D'Angelo Russell played with Larry Nance Jr. I think back when they were both with the Lakers. I like that guess. Let's go ahead and type in D'Angelo Russell because I think we've got a winner already off the top. One guess. Bang! Mike Breen. Bang! There we go. It was absolutely D'Angelo Russell. Obviously, he's currently playing alongside of Anthony Edwards in Minnesota. And then once upon a time, D'Angelo Russell was a member of the Los Angeles Lakers alongside Larry Nance Jr. So all it took, my friends, was one guess. Shout out to everybody who said D'Angelo Russell was absolutely the right answer. All right. Let's get into some prize picks, guys. I already told you guys that Lionel Messi is your current taco right now. You got a little less than 2 hours to take advantage of the Lionel Messi Argentina taco. They've taken his shots down from 4 to 2.5. All right. They've taken his shots down from 4 to 2.5. That's a 37% discount. Argentina versus Croatia. Like I said, don't know a lot about soccer. I know Messi's a great player, though, so I feel all right about taking it. For those of you who do follow the World Cup, who do follow soccer, shine some light on this. If you're in the chat and you're following soccer, let us know. Are you feeling this taco with a thumbs up, or are you not feeling this taco with the thumbs down? I know in the past, one of the moves that we've liked to do is either we take the over on the taco, or you take the original line and you take the under. Do we think he's good for more than 2.5 shots? Do we think he's good for less than 4 shots? Maybe both hit. Let me know what you think. I'm reading the comments section. I see King United says it should be a good play. I see Anthony leaving the thumbs up. King United says it's just shots, and Messi takes all the free kicks and or penalties for Argentina. So that's encouraging news. John O'Connor says the Messi bet ain't it. Croatia, park the bus. Not sure what that means. Joseph says 2.5 shots is too low for Messi. He's going to smash that. Jamon Scott's liking it. He's leaving the thumbs up for us. Jared Mescudi wants to know, is Zion, what is the Zion play? I took the points on Zion. I took his points at 26.5. He was at 25.5, but I think 26.5 is still good. Utah has given up a lot of points in the paint, and that's where Zion Williamson likes to operate. We're seeing some people saying too low for the GOAT. If Messi loses, it's his last World Cup, so he's going to try his hardest and shoot a lot. He takes all free kicks and penalties. Thank you, Favi, for leaving that information. Roy is saying that Croatia is a difficult team to play against. All right, so a little bit of uncertainty from Roy. Messi is the GOAT. Okay, nice. I took that already. I like it. Messi's taco smacking. T-Bone's liking the taco. All right, so I guess for me, I'm just going to take the taco. Like I said, I've already taken the taco. I put it alongside of Zion Williamson. I put the most that you can put on a taco. For me, it's $20 max, so I went ahead and maxed it out. Put Zion over 26.5 points alongside Messi for more than 2.5 shots. So fingers crossed. I hope they both hit. We'll see how it goes. All right. So that's your taco, guys. Like I said, take advantage. You got about an hour and a half, a little more than an hour and a half to take advantage of this taco. I'm sure we're going to get some NBA discounts throughout the night. Like I said, pretty nice NBA schedule. I know it's not a lot of games, but it looks like good quality games. A lot of fun games to potentially bet on. So we'll go ahead and clear the deck here, and we'll flip over to NBA, and we'll go split screen, and we'll start talking about today's NBA games and ways that we could potentially go a first look, so to speak, on today's NBA picks, on prize picks. Once again, Magikarp Johnson, if you're watching, maybe you're catching me live, maybe you're catching the replay, please shoot me a DM. You won a free 2-pick to score $100 on prize picks. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for leaving that comment and leaving that like on the video yesterday. I'm going to pick somebody else from today's show tomorrow when we go live. So make sure that you're subscribed and that you've hit the like button today, and then leave a comment when the replay goes up. All right, let's go ahead and refresh here. We're using RotoWire to just kind of run through today's NBA slate. Like I said, not a lot of games, but a lot of good games from the ones that we can play. So starting things off, we got Sacramento and Philadelphia at 7 p.m. De'Aaron Fox is the big piece of injury news here for the Sacramento Kings. He is currently a game-time decision. If he does not start, if he does not play, you're going to probably see some Davion Mitchell coming off of the bench. Now, I mentioned to somebody today, if James Harden is matched up with De'Aaron Fox, I like that matchup for James Harden. If James Harden is matched up against Davion Mitchell, I don't know if I like it quite as much. James Harden's assists have been pretty good. I think his points are sitting at, 20.5 today? You could go there with James Harden, but I like it better with Fox. I think Davion Mitchell's a little bulldog, a little pit bull type of defender, and he could give James Harden some problems. I know Tyrese Maxey's still out. All right, so it's going to be Harden. It's going to be obviously Embiid, some Tobias Harris sprinkled in there, some DeAnthony Melton sprinkled in there as well. But I think I like the matchup better for Harden if he's matched up against De'Aaron Fox. Hopefully Fox plays tonight so we get a higher total. Maybe the game stays closer and more competitive with De'Aaron Fox in the mix. But somebody mentioned James Harden. I think James Harden could be an okay play. Let's look at it. James Harden points logs this season. Obviously, he is, coming off of a long layoff, but he's been back in the mix here for a number of games. We started 12-5, 12-9, and 12-11, so he's played 3 games now since making his return. He was out. His last game was November 2nd. Long layoff, over a month out, came back, scored 21, 28, and 19. And he's dropped 7, 12, and 16 assists as well. So James Harden's points here doesn't look too shabby. Not too bad. And then you take a look at what James Harden's done versus the Kings. James Harden points logs versus the Kings, and he's put up some really strong scoring performances against the Sacramento Kings throughout his career. Now, I will say this was prime James Harden. A lot of these red bars was when he was with the Houston Rockets, right? So he was absolutely lighting the Houston Rockets on fire. This is not the same James Harden, so I don't want to get it twisted. I don't want to try and misconstrue what's happening here. Obviously, James Harden starting to, Father Time starting to catch up. He's starting to go down a little bit. But even looking at the games against the Sacramento Kings when he was with the Brooklyn Nets, beginning of 2021, so about a year ago, a little over a year ago, almost 2 years ago, actually. 29 and 29 versus Sacramento in those 2 games. He only had 4 points. I don't know what happened there. Only 4 points, shot the ball 11 times, so that's kind of low. 2 for 11 in that game. But for the most part, yes, he's had success. He's had some success against the Sacramento Kings. So that's just a quick look at James Harden. You could potentially go there. Shout out to Roy in our Discord for bringing up James Harden's name. Obviously, you always have to consider Joel Embiid at 31.5 points. It sounds like a lot of points. And I mean, honestly, it is a lot of points. It's a lot of points. But then you open up his game logs and you're like, wow, my guy's hit 35, 39, 38, and then straight up mashed the Charlotte Hornets and Mason Plumlee with 53 points in his last game just 2 days ago. All right, so 31.5 points for Joel Embiid, not as difficult as it may seem. You can look at something like Joel Embiid versus Sabonis if you want to. Get an idea how he's done against Domantas Sabonis for his career. Now, this is going to be Sabonis with the Pacers. He hasn't faced Sabonis since Sabonis has been traded to the Sacramento Kings, right? But just taking a look at some of the game logs here, he had 24, 13, and 5 against Sabonis when they last played. That was 2021. Now, we're going back to 2019. 32 and 11 with 4 assists, 33, 12, and 0. Now, he's probably matched up with Miles Turner in a lot of these games, so that's something else to kind of factor in. But 22, 13, and 8. He had 40, 21, and 3, 20, 10, and 2. So he's hit like double-digit rebounds. He's hit like 20 or more points in every single game against Turner and Sabonis. I mean, I would say Joel Embiid's probably a fine play. What's his rebounds at? Maybe we go to his rebounds instead of his points. 10 boards? Oh, sign me up. Sign me up. I think I like that 10 rebound number. He's hit 10, 12, 10, 21, 13, 12, 11, and 13 in all the games that he's played against Sabonis here in the last 10. So I think 10 rebounds is possible, doable for Joel Embiid going up against Sabonis. 12 rebounds against Charlotte, 12 against the Lakers, 12 against Memphis. It's been kind of feast or famine, right? 6 against the tough Cleveland Cavaliers front court, 7 against Houston. But more often than not, I think 10 rebounds is probably a pretty good look for Embiid. So, again, just a first look. Not really locking anything in just yet, but just a first look. That could be a fine play going up against Sabonis in Sacramento. What else do we like here? Anything else from the Sacramento-Philadelphia game? I mean, it's got a nice total of 228.5 with a 5-point spread. So we talked about maybe James Harden for points, maybe Harden for assists. His assists are sitting at 9.5 today. He's hit that in 2 out of the 3 games since returning to the starting lineup for the Philadelphia 76ers. So that could be a look. But I think I'm going to wait for De'Aaron Fox news before I put anything in from this game. So let's move on to the next one. Golden State versus Milwaukee. Obviously, this is going to be must-see TV. Two of the better teams in the league. Golden State, as far as injuries go, Andrew Wiggins is out. Andre Iguodala is out. Draymond Green, game time decision, but he's closer to probable than doubtful. We're probably going to get Draymond Green tonight. So it'll be Kevon Looney, Draymond Green. Looks like Klay Thompson. Jordan Poole's going to enter the starting lineup playing shooting guard, and then obviously Steph Curry playing point guard. For the Milwaukee Bucks, keep an eye on Drew Holiday. His status is currently truly up in the air. Game time decision. Chris Middleton is likely to play tonight. So Drew Holiday, if he is out, that means Milwaukee's defense against Steph Curry might take a hit. If he's out, who are they going to start in his place? George Hill? Javon Carter? Either way, I don't know if either one of those guys are really going to stop or slow down Steph Curry any type of way. So maybe we look to Curry for some points. He's at 27.5. He's obviously capable of going for 30 or more in any given night against any given team. So Curry could be a good look. You could also use StatMuse to kind of take a look at some of the historical game logs. Steph Curry points versus Bucks logs, and we want to include playoffs. I don't know if they've ever met, but just in case. So Curry's points against the Milwaukee Bucks. Guys, actually not that sexy, huh? Not that sexy. He's had a 41 bomb in his last 5 matchups versus Milwaukee, but we take a look. 8 points, 12 points, the big 41, 19, 20, and 10. So last 6 games, he's gone under in 5 out of his last 6. What do we think about this? We liking Curry or nah versus the Milwaukee Bucks? Is Drew Holiday being in or out going to impact whether or not you take Steph Curry or not? Jay's saying he'd rather take some Curry assists. Well, let's look at those Curry assists. Where is he at today? At 5.5, 6.5? No, sitting right at 6. You could possibly go there. You could go there. He's had 8 in his last game against the Milwaukee Bucks. 4, 4, 6, 8, 6. So he's hit 6 or more in 1, 2, 3, 4 out of his last 6 games going up against Milwaukee. So maybe you avoid the points and you go with the assists. With Jordan Poole entering the starting lineup, maybe Curry takes a lesser scoring role. No Andrew Wiggins. Jordan Poole's going to start for Golden State tonight in place of Andrew Wiggins. So maybe you go with Curry's assists and leave the points alone. Is that what you're thinking? That may not be a bad move. C-Dale Adams is saying that the Bucks defense has not been locked down this season. Well, let's just take a look at that. We've got the DVP information pulled up here. We can look at the defense versus position. How many points per game are the Milwaukee Bucks giving up to opposing point guards? Well, Utah's given up the most points to point guards at 28.2. What about the Milwaukee Bucks? They're giving up about 22.5 points per game to point guards for the season, which puts them down toward the bottom, meaning they're kind of tough against point guards. Obviously, Drew Holiday, a good defensive point guard, has been throughout the entirety of his career. Let's look at the last 7 games. Let's see if the Bucks have improved or gotten worse when it comes to points allowed to point guards. I think they've pretty much stayed the same over the last 7 games. It looks like they're giving up about 21.2 points per game. So not a real big change. Season averages versus the last 7 games. Either way, though, we've definitely seen Steph Curry struggle when it comes to scoring points against this Milwaukee Bucks squad. So may want to be careful with the Steph Curry points just based on what we're seeing here historically. Hasn't done great. Now, maybe a guy who can take advantage of the matchup tonight is Giannis Antetokounmpo at 30.5 points. The reason I bring him up is because the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis and Brook Lopez have done a pretty good job this season when it comes to scoring. And the Golden State Warriors have not done such a great job when it comes to defending opposing big guys. So taking a look here, Golden State's given up about 22 to 23 points per game, which kind of puts them toward the top of the list here. One of the most giving defenses when it comes to points allowed to the power forward position. We also take a look at the center spot. This could benefit Brook Lopez. They're giving up about 24 points per game to opposing centers, the 6th highest per game, point per game average in the league. So there you go. Maybe the bigs are the way that you want to go on this Milwaukee Bucks side, whether that be Giannis Antetokounmpo at 30.5 points. You could possibly go there. Just taking a look at Giannis's numbers against against Golden State for his career. So Giannis Antetokounmpo points, logs versus Warriors. You can see how he's done against the Golden State Warriors. 31, 30, 15, 30, 22, 24, 32, 23. All right, so you kind of get an idea of what Giannis has done here. He's got some games in there, 31, 32. He's only went over this number twice against Golden State all time. Throughout his career, he's only topped 30.5 points twice. He did so in March, earlier this year, toward the end of the season with 31. And then the only other time before that was back in March of 2018, about almost 5 years ago. So Golden State's done a pretty good job against Giannis for the most part, allowing him to only top 30.5 points just twice throughout his career. Just 2 times. Just twice. Splurging with MRock 2700 says, I'm fading Giannis. He sold me in the Rockets game. Well, maybe you fade his points. Maybe you go with his rebounds instead at 11.5. He has had some good rebounding games against the Golden State Warriors. Only 8 boards the last time they played, but prior to that, had 12, 13, 13, and 15. So he's hit this mark in 4 out of his last 5 games. We don't want to go back too far, but 4 out of his last 5, he's had 12 or more boards against the Golden State Warriors. We've seen him pull 18 in against the Houston Rockets, had 13 against Orlando. So maybe if you don't want to take Giannis for points, you could go with his rebounds instead. Taking a look here, one other thing that we could do on this Golden State side of things, we can filter the games where Steph Curry's played without Andrew Wiggins and kind of see how things have shaped up for some of these Golden State Warriors players, right? So we take Andrew Wiggins out of the mix here. Looking back at last season, total of 7 games played without Wiggins. Curry ended up going over his points prop in 5 out of 7. That's a 71% hit rate. This season, he's 1 for 2, going over 27 or 28.5 points without Wiggins in the lineup. So overall, he's 5 for 7, 71% hit rate, averaging 29 points per game. Again, this dates back to last season, but you kind of get an idea of where Curry has shined without Wiggins. What about the other stats for Curry? Well, his rebounds at 5.5, he's only hit the over in 2 out of 7, so not rebounding very well without Wiggins. Assists, we talked about those for a minute. At 5.5 assists, he's hit 6 or better in 4 out of 7, so that's a 57% hit rate without Andrew Wiggins. So you've got points and assists at 57%, 4 for 7. Points and rebounds, 4 for 7. PRA, also 4 for 7. So you're not really seeing a huge uptick in terms of hit rates or anything with Andrew Wiggins being out. But his points at 27.5 on PrizePicks, I mean, it looks like the one that's been hitting the best, but he has had his struggles against the Milwaukee Bucks. So there's that. What about some of these other players? Klay Thompson, how does he do when Wiggins is not out on the floor? Well, we take Andrew Wiggins off using props.cash, and we can see that Mr. Klay Thompson here at 20.5 points has hit this in 4 out of 6, 67% hit rate. He's 3 for 3 this season without Andrew Wiggins. He dropped 28 on Indiana, 22 against Utah, 34 against Boston. So 3 for 3 this season. Games without Wiggins, Klay Thompson has hit that 22 or more point mark in 3 out of 3. So that's looking pretty good. Maybe we go Klay Thompson for more than 20.5 points. Not a bad option. What about some of his other props? We got rebounds at 3.5 rebounds, just a 2 out of 6 hit rate, 33%. Not very interesting. Assist at 2.5. He's 2 for 6 in that one. Just a 33% hit rate, so not real interesting if you're looking to take the over, that is. Points and assists is another way you could go. 4 for 6, 3 for 3 this season, so that could be an option for you. Points and rebounds, he's 2 for 3 this season, 3 out of his last 4 without Wiggins, so that could be a move. What about the points, rebounds, and assists? His PRA has hit 3 for 3 this season without Wiggins. 4 straight dating back to last season, and 4 out of his last 6, 67% hit rate overall. So those are some options for you when it comes to Klay Thompson. If you're thinking about playing Klay, points, PRA, both of those look like probably the best ways to go. What about Jordan Poole? Do they have Poole up on the board? They do. Poole's going to be stepping in the starting lineup for Andrew Wiggins. So Jordan Poole's currently sitting at 20.5 points. Let's take a look and see what happens when Andrew Wiggins is out of the lineup, out of the rotation for the Golden State Warriors, right? We got Jordan Poole, 20.5 points dating back to last season. He is 7 for 10 at 21.5. When we bump him down to 20.5, he's still 7 for 10. 7 for 10, 70% hit rate, 3 for 5 this season. 7 for 10 dating back to last season, averaging about 26 points per game. He's at 20.5. So maybe we go Jordan Poole for points. He's going to probably be matched up with who? Grayson Allen? Grayson Allen, not known to be a defender, but yeah, Jordan Poole, 7 for 10 without Andrew Wiggins. Not a bad look at 20.5 points. Had a couple of games where he finished with just 20. Really close, but no cigar. Against Washington, against the Pelicans, and against Boston, finished with 20 points. So he's going to be knocking on the door from what it looks like for 20 or more points tonight. 20 or more points tonight without Andrew Wiggins has been really good for Jordan Poole. So they've set a pretty sharp line. Had they put it at 19.5, I think we would have had ourselves a very good play. What about rebounds for Jordan Poole? 2.5 rebounds, 6 for 10 without Wiggins, 3 for 5 this season. So that's not too bad, not too bad. What about assists? His assists at 4.5, he's 5 for 10 without Wiggins. That's a 50% hit rate. 50%, coin flip. I don't like coin flips. I wish the hit rate was a little bit higher. When you combine the points plus the assists, we've got 8 out of 10 without Andrew Wiggins, 4 out of 5 this season. Let's see if they're giving us that. Let's take a look here. Poole points plus assists. Are they on the board? They are. They're on the board at 25.5. He's at 25.5 here on props.cash. On the left, you see the green graphs. 8 for 10, 80%. So slightly higher hit rate when Wiggins is off the floor. Points plus assists versus just the points. So this could be a good look. I think we might have found ourselves a pretty decent look here. Let's go get you a projection here. Jordan Poole projected for 27.1 points plus assists. He's at 25.5 on some of the books. Already a betting favorite. Minus 125 to go over at 25.5. Guys, I also want to point out, we're getting a discount here of 1 point plus assists. He's at 26.5 on some of these sports books like FanDuel and PointsBet. So I think I'm in here on Jordan Poole. I'm going to leave him in. We're going to build a little ticket, a little entry, a little slip together right here on PrizePicks. I think Jordan Poole at 25.5 points plus assists is a great start. A great start. 80% hit rate without Wiggins. Slightly higher than just the points on their own. So I'm going to go here. All right. I'm going to go here. Good projection. He's a point lower on PrizePicks than some of these other sites. I'm not mad at this. I think this is a good start to a hopefully a winning entry. But I'm going to start here with Jordan Poole. What else? Is there anything else that we're interested in? We like the points plus assists for Poole. How about points and rebounds? Those are sitting at 23.5. He's 7 for 10 on those too. So don't sleep on the points and rebounds. That could be a good look. 3 for 5 this season. 27.4 points plus rebounds without Wiggins this season. So that's looking pretty decent. Rebounds and assists, 6 for 10 without Wiggins. PRA, also a good look, 7 for 10 there. 3 for 5 this season. So far, I'm rocking with the points and assists, though. 3-point make, 60%. All right, so I think we're good. Let's stick with the points plus assists. Guys, if you don't like it, don't take it. As I always say, you see what I'm doing. You don't have to move like I'm moving. If you want to move a different way, move a different way, all right? This is my money. This is what I'm doing with my money. You take accountability for your own money, all right? But this is what I'm doing with mine. 25.5 points plus assists for Jordan Poole without Andrew Wiggins, averaging 30.7 in games without Wiggins. 30 points plus assists in his last 5 games without Wiggins from this season. And he's 4 for 5, an 80% hit rate, all right? And you guys are already saying we don't like Steph Curry to go for more than his 27.5 points. So if he's not going to score, then maybe Jordan Poole's going to be the guy scoring tonight. So we get about 21, 22 points at a pool. Maybe he drops off a few dimes and we're right there. We're right there. But that's what I'm rocking with. What else? Anybody else from this Golden State Warriors side of things? Draymond Green. Let's take Andrew Wiggins off the floor and see how Draymond Green has benefited without Wiggins. So we're going back to last season. Draymond Green, he's sitting at 8.5 points. It doesn't look like I want to go Draymond Green's points. Not looking like a sexy move. 8.5 points has been something that he has not hit at a very high clip, just a 25% hit rate dating back to last season without Andrew Wiggins. This season, he's 1 for 2. Draymond, not really going to be getting a lot of buckets for the most part. What about his rebounds? His rebounds are sitting at 6 on PrizePicks. We're getting him at 5.5 here on Props.Cash, but he's had 7 or more boards without Andrew Wiggins in 5 out of 8 games. That's a 63% hit rate, 1 for 2 this season, 9 against Indiana, 4 against Boston. So he's at 6 boards on PrizePicks. Maybe take the boards going up against the Milwaukee Bucks. 5 for 8, 63%. Not terrible, not terrible. Let's see if we can do better, though. What about the assists? The assists, 3 for 8, 38%. Not loving that. Not for an overplay anyway. 2.5 turnovers. That could be interesting. Draymond's known to turn the ball over. 5 for 8, 2.5 turnovers. All right. So he's turned the ball over 3 or more times in 5 out of 8 games played without Andrew Wiggins. 1 for 2 this season. Had 3 turnovers against the Boston Celtics when they last played. All right. So that could be a look. 63% hit rate. What else we got? We got PRA sitting at 21.5. He's missed his PRA in 5 straight games. 2 for 2 this season without Andrew Wiggins. So I'm not looking to take the over on his PRA. If anything, maybe he's more of an underplay tonight. Not going over on his PRA, that's for sure. Points plus rebounds, I'm going to imagine that this is not a very high hitting prop either. Yeah, 3 for 8 without Wiggins, 38%. So we're not taking the over on his points and rebounds. At least I'm not. That's not what I'm doing. Points plus assists, we got those sitting at 14.5. Again, just 3 for 8. So maybe we take some unders on Draymond Green tonight. He's going to be matched up with Giannis, right? Maybe some Brook Lopez, maybe some Bobby Portis Jr. Bad matchups maybe for Draymond Green? Is that what we're thinking? Low hit rates on a lot of these props without Andrew Wiggins. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing here. I don't know if I'm liking a whole lot of overs for Draymond. And then last but not least, we got the rebounds and assists. If we can't trust Draymond to score any points, maybe we just take the rebounds and assists. Those are also sitting at 5 for 8, 63% hit rate, 1 for 2 this season, 14 rebounds and assists against Indiana, and 6 against Boston. But I don't love this matchup for Draymond Green to begin with. And then we're starting to see some of these hit rates, super low hit rates as well. So there you go. Those are all of your Golden State Warriors players on the board at the moment. Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Jordan Poole. But I like Poole, man. I like that points plus assists for Poole at 25.5. It's looking kind of juicy. Looking kind of nice. Anthony saying everyone needs to get off of Draymond. Yeah. I don't know if I'm loving Dre, but I can get on board with those Giannis rebounds, right? 11.5 boards. I'm not mad at that. Golden State, I believe they give up quite a few rebounds. Let's take a look at it, though. Power forwards against Golden State. Golden State's given about 9.3 boards. Giannis is sitting at 11.5. When it comes to centers against the Golden State Warriors, Golden State's given up about 15.6 boards. Here's what I'll say, though. So it seems like this would favor Brook Lopez, but we know that historically Brook Lopez has been a poor rebounding center. So I would imagine that some of those rebounds that they're giving up to centers would benefit Giannis tonight at 11.5. Lopez, kind of a stretch 5. He's hanging out on the perimeter on the offensive side of things. Defensively, maybe he stays his big butt in the paint tonight, guarding Kevon Looney. Right? Looney's not really a floor stretcher, floor spacing type of big man. But Looney does get out there on the perimeter at times. setting screens on offense for Golden State, right? Handing the ball off. He kind of handles the ball at times. Draymond, also another guy who maybe not offensively is out there spacing the floor, but he'll come out there and set screens, right? Draymond's kind of the quarterback for the Golden State Warriors. He'll have the ball in his hand up at the top of the key, doing little handoffs, little dribble handoffs to Steph, to Poole, to Clay. So, I don't know. I like Giannis's rebounds, I think, more than his points. Just taking a look at things, he's hit this in 4 out of his last 5 against Golden State. And out of him and Lopez in the starting lineup, I think more of those rebounds are going to fall Giannis's way. And he's going to be more active on the glass than Lopez will be. I got Giannis projected for 11.2 boards. We take a look at some of the sports books here. He's at 11.5 everywhere. All sports books have him at 11.5. Minus 130, minus 128, minus 135. So yeah, if you want to build like a little same game parlay type of situation, Jordan Poole for more than 25.5 points and assists looks like a good look, with Giannis over 11.5 rebounds. These are just some ideas. Feel free to look into these a little bit more in depth and further on your own time if you choose. But I think first look, I kind of like these two from this game. All right, let's move on. What else we like in here? We got Phoenix at Houston, New Orleans at Utah. We got Boston at LA. Phoenix and Houston tips off at 8 o'clock. Cam Johnson looks like he might be rejoining the Phoenix Suns tonight. He is probable from the looks of things. Devin Booker is out. Obviously, Jay Crowder's been out all season. No Dwayne Washington for the Phoenix Suns. So we may get a projected starting lineup of Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, Torrey Craig, Dario Saric, and DeAndre Ayton. So no Devin Booker. Will definitely shake things up for Phoenix. I don't know how or who is going to generate offense for the Phoenix Suns, but they're going to need some help without Devin Booker. Chris Paul, not really the offensive type of player that he was earlier in his career with the Hornets, even with the Clippers and with the Rockets. I just don't know, man. Mikal Bridges, I mean, maybe he steps into a larger offensive role. DeAndre Ayton, you would imagine they would feed him tonight against Alperen Şengün, and hopefully he could take advantage of that matchup, that size difference. But I really don't know who they lean on. That's just kind of why I'm kind of excited about Cam Johnson. I don't know if Cam's going to be in the starting lineup or not, but Cam Johnson is definitely capable of providing buckets. He's definitely capable of shooting the 3 ball. They're really going to need to lean on Cam Johnson. Hopefully he ends up playing for Phoenix tonight. Otherwise, I'm kind of worried about the Suns tonight, bro. Without Devin Booker, like, their offense looks kind of rough. Like, DeAndre Ayton's so hit or miss. Chris Paul, I can't count on him to get buckets, really. It's going to be Bridges, Torrey Craig. Sorry, I mean, I don't know. I could see this being a situation where, like, 3 or 4 different guys for the Suns end up in, like, double-digit, figures. High teen point totals. I could see that, which kind of falls in line with what you're seeing here, right? Mikal Bridges at 17.5 points. I mean, Chris Paul's at 13.5. Torrey Craig at 11.5. Yeah, they're really going to need somebody like Cam Johnson or DeAndre Ayton to step up. Somebody who could put the ball in the basket. On the Houston Rockets side, Jae'Sean Tate is out. This game has a total of 224.5 with a 6-point spread. Maybe my least favorite game so far. Maybe the least favorite game so far. I got to be honest with you. Just at first look, first glance, this ain't looking hot whatsoever. Let's take a look at some of these props real quick. We're going to take Devin Booker off the floor. DeAndre Ayton without Devin Booker at 20.5 points. He's hit this prop in 7 out of 13. Just a 54% hit rate. He's 1 for 1 this season. He had 28 against New Orleans in their last game, December 11th, against Joe Val and the Pelicans. So 7 for 13. I mean, 54% hit rate, Ayton at 20.5 points without Booker. What about without Booker and Crowder? Do we have any game logs at that? One game. That was from this season, so we'll just leave Crowder in there. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. I will say this, going back to last season, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's hit this number in 5 out of his last 6 without Devin Booker. So maybe he potentially smashes without Book tonight. DeAndre Ayton at 20.5 points, though, seems kind of high. Seems kind of rich. What about against Houston this season? He only had 8 points against the Rockets on December 2nd. Well, that's not good. I'm imagining that was probably with, Alperen Şengün starting for the Houston Rockets, just 8 points. That was with Devin Booker. Yeah, they're going to have to really feed DeAndre Ayton the basketball. I know I keep saying that and reiterating, but who does Phoenix have that can generate offense? It'll be interesting to see how things play out. Anyway, DeAndre Ayton at 10.5 boards, according to Props.Cash. Just a 38% hit rate in games played without Devin Booker. Going up against Şengün and the Houston Rockets tonight, I don't know. That's looking rough. DeAndre Ayton's assists, 4 for 13, 31% hit rate, 1 for 1 this season though. Points plus assists, 46% hit rate. Points plus rebounds, 38%, 5 for 13. Rebounds and assists, 7 for 13, 54%. All right, so, I don't know if I could get on board with DeAndre Ayton here. The matchup's not terrible, though. It's not terrible against Houston and Şengün. So you look at who the Phoenix Suns have active, healthy. You look at the matchup and you're like, all right, maybe, but I don't know. I don't feel great about it. What about Mikal Bridges without Devin Booker? Maybe he benefits. Obviously, they're both wing players. They play out there on the perimeter. Mikal Bridges, obviously not anywhere near the score that Devin Booker is, but we got Mikal Bridges, 18 games played without Devin Booker, just 5 for 18, 28% hit rate at 17.5 points. Hard to love that. He is 1 for 1 this season. He dropped 27 against New Orleans. So I guess you can hang your hat on that, 1 for 1 this season, but not the type of guy that you're gonna feel super confident in. I'll tell you who's got the best matchup, and it's a guy that we talked about who we don't really trust a whole lot to score the ball. Chris Paul going up against the Houston Rockets backcourt. Obviously, there's a little bit of that revenge narrative, right? Chris Paul wants a Houston Rocket alongside Russell Westbrook, but we take a look at that and we're like, no, alongside James Harden, not Westbrook, right? Westbrook got traded for Chris Paul, I think is what happened. Anyway, Chris Paul's at 13.5 points. You take a look at these games, 4 for 12 without Booker. Only had 6 points in his last game against New Orleans. But as far as matchups go, he's going to have the best matchup against the Houston Rockets. It's just hard to trust this guy, right? 4 for 12. 0 for 1 this season when it comes to his points. Maybe you combine the points and the assists. But even that, 5 for 12, 42%. Just the assists on their own without Booker, though, 7 for 12, 58%. At 10.5 dimes, he did drop 11 against New Orleans in their last game. He dropped 4 straight games he's hit against the New Orleans Pelicans. Too bad they're not playing New Orleans tonight. I don't know, man. I think this Phoenix game is going to be a fave for me. I don't know that there's a lot that I love on the Suns side. On the Houston Rockets side, I don't know, man. What are you guys liking on the Houston side? Anything? I think this whole game might just be a fade for me. Jalen Green, Jabari Smith Jr., Kevin Porter Jr., Alperen Şengün. Those are your options. Jalen Green points. Some of you guys are saying Jalen Green points at 20.5. Been a little hit or miss, right, in his last 5 games. 22.8, though. 22.8. Let's take a look at the Phoenix Suns real quick. Phoenix. How many points per game are they giving up to point guards? We'll start there, and then we'll switch over to shooting guards because you got Green. You got Kevin Porter Jr. Who's the point guard? Who's the shooting guard? I guess you would call Jalen Green more the shooting guard, but taking a look here, the Phoenix Suns are giving up about 24 points per game to point guards this season. Puts them closer to the top than it does the bottom, so that's good news if you're a point guard. What about shooting guards versus Phoenix? No Devin Booker, obviously. I'm guessing they throw Mikal Bridges on Jalen Green. That's what I would do, but what do I know? If that's the case, then I worry for Jalen Green's points output. Obviously, Mikal Bridges, one of the better perimeter defenders in the NBA right now, right? They're giving up about 23.3, we'll call it, points per game to shooting guards. So they're really giving up a pretty healthy amount of points to point guards and to shooting guards. I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Porter Jr. ends up having a pretty good game. He's at 17.5, 3 points lower than Jalen Green. He's also hit in 3 out of his last 5 games. They did play Phoenix on December 2nd. He had 15 points against the Suns in that game. That was pre-Chris Paul, though, so maybe things get worse. Looks like Jalen Green had 30 against Phoenix on December 2nd. So, okay, maybe Jalen Green's a look. What else we got here, guys? Let's move on to this next game because I'm really not super excited about that Phoenix-Houston game. That's probably, again, of the 3 games that we've talked about so far, the one that is not very interesting to me. Taking a look at this New Orleans and Utah game, though, obviously we gotta consider this guy, right? Zion Williamson at 26.5 points. No Brandon Ingram once again tonight. No Liddell for the New Orleans Pelicans. Herbert Jones is expected to play, but we know that offensively he's not much of a threat to guys like Zion Williamson, CJ McCollum, Jonas Valanciunas. But this matchup against the Utah Jazz should be a great one for both Zion. I don't mind him at 26.5. And Joe Val. I think both of these guys are in for a pretty good night going up against the likes of Kelly Olynyk and Jared Vanderbilt and Lauri Markkanen. So either one of these 2 guys I think are pretty good. Now, I already showed you guys, I took Zion for points. It's been a good move lately. Zion's been absolutely crazy with 30, 25, 29, 35, 35. He was at 25.5. He's already been bumped up once, but that's okay. Normally I don't play bumps. I can make an exception for this young man. I can make an exception for Zion Williamson. The Utah Jazz are giving up about 21 points per game to power forwards. That's just like an average number. It's not a super high nor super low number. Puts them right in the middle of the pack here when it comes to points allowed to the power forward position this season. We could also take a look at the last 7 games, see if that number gets better or worse. It gets better, actually. Utah has now moved up in the last 7 games, meaning they're giving up more points in the last 7 games than they are for the season. Over 25 points per game allowed to power forwards in their last 7 contests. So that bodes well for Zion Williamson. He's at 26.5. They're giving up 25.6 points per game in the last 7 games. Let's do the same thing with the center position. We mentioned Jonas Valanciunas, also in a very good spot. The Utah Jazz are giving up over 25 points per game to opposing centers. So I think Joe Val's also in a great spot. Not only that, but they're also giving up over 16 rebounds per game to opposing centers. That is the 4th most. So they're giving up the 4th most points, the 4th most rebounds, and they're giving up gobs of fantasy points as well. 3rd highest fantasy score per game. So I think Valanciunas should not be slept on. Should not be forgotten about. Right? We're all obviously going to be flocking and migrating to Zion Williamson. He's getting all the attention, all the limelight, but I think Valanciunas is a guy who's going to kind of fly under the radar tonight. People are going to forget about the big fella, and the big fella's been playing good and has a great matchup against this Utah Jazz front court center position, Kelly Olynyk. All right, last 7 games, the Utah Jazz have given up still a healthy 25.1 points per game. 25.1 points per game, not too shabby. That still puts them closer toward the top of the points per game column. What about rebounds? In the last 7 games, the Jazz are still giving up almost 16 rebounds per game, over 15 at 15.6. So again, Valanciunas is in a fine spot. FanDuel points or fantasy points allowed, we look at the Utah Jazz, and they're still giving up about 54 per game to opposing centers. So don't sleep on Valanciunas at 13.5 points. He's been a little bit hit or miss. You could go points. I don't mind you going Valanciunas on a different type of prop here, like his PRA or fantasy score. Fantasy score, he's 2 for his last 5. Rebounds, 4 out of his last 5. That could be a very solid option going up against Kelly Olynyk and company, right? What about his PRA? PRA's 2 out of 5. So the prop that's been hitting the highest for Joe Val looks like it's his rebounds at 9.5. So I don't mind that. Going up against the Jazz, they're giving up a ton of boards. What about a projection here for Valanciunas' rebounds? Let's take a look. I got him projected for 8.8. That seems like it's a little bit on the low side. We're seeing him at 9.5 on some books. Slight betting favorite at the 9.5 number. He's at 10.5 on a bunch of other sports books as well. So we are getting the lower number here on Jonas Valanciunas. And then you could take this a step further if you wanted to. You could take a look at something like Jonas Valanciunas rebounds without Brandon Ingram logs this season, something along those lines. And you can see that he's hit 10 or more boards in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of his last 8 without Brandon Ingram. 8 out of 11 overall games played without Brandon Ingram. That's pretty good. 7 out of his last 8 without Brandon Ingram. I don't mind that. And he's going up against Utah tonight. All right. Yeah, I think he's in play. Forget those projections. But you could go here. You could go here. Zion over 26.5 points. Joe Val over 9.5 boards. I think we got a pretty decent little slip we're building out here. Pretty decent so far. Got the porn bots in here. Please don't click the porn bots, guys. Be smarter than that. Be smarter than that. Don't let them fool you. But yeah, that looks like a pretty good little couple of picks. Zion and Joe Val. 26.5 points, 9.5 boards. Don't mind that. What else? Let's see. X out of that. Anything else that's standing out from this game? Got Trey Murphy at 12.5 points. Nah, I'm good. Good on that. But let's just take a peek. Yeah, 2 for 5. Not loving that. Not loving that. Lauri Markkanen, he's been obviously in his bag. He's a great little scorer, big scorer, I should say. 32, 23, 24, and 21. So Markkanen, he's sat out now for 10 days. This will be his first game since December 3rd. So I don't know. Maybe he eases back in. Maybe he eases back into the swing of things. I'm not sure, but they're definitely going to need him tonight to play well. Who do you think they put on Lauri Markkanen? You think they put Herb Jones on him? I could see that. I could see him matching up with Herb Jones. Don't love that because Herb Jones, kind of like a Mikal Bridges or Dorian Finney-Smith type of guy, 3 and D, right? Could be a bad situation for Lauri Markkanen. Anything else from this Utah side of things? I saw Kelly Olynyk. You guys are saying Kelly O for under 21.5 PRA. Okay. Going up against the likes of Valanciunas and Zion. All right. I don't mind that. Small slate. We got to pick our spots. We got to pick our spots and try to make the best of them. Lauri Markkanen at 20.5 points. Let's just take a look at what a projection would be for Lauri. Got Lauri projected for 21.2. He is at 21.5 on most major sports books. Some people are betting the over at 21.5. So we are getting a little point of value here on Markkanen at 20.5 on PrizePicks. Let's just look at the DVP here. Are the New Orleans Pelicans giving it up at the last 7 games to power forwards and or centers? Let's see here. New Orleans, not really. I mean, 18.3 points per game to power forwards in the last 7 games. That's the third fewest. Third fewest for Lauri Markkanen. What about small forwards? They put Vanderbilt at the 4. Maybe Markkanen's considered to be the small forward. Let's see. Does it get any better if you're a small forward? 22.1 points per game for small forwards. I would imagine they put Herbert Jones on him, though. I'm just saying. But yeah, you could go there if you wanted to, I guess. Lauri Markkanen, you're getting a point of value or a discount. So that's an option. Dilly Benz is saying Mike Conley under PRA. That could be a look. Old man Mike Conley is back. Benjamin, yes, he is. He should be back tonight. Colin Sexton's going to be out for Utah. So Mike Conley Jr., you're going to have Jordan Clarkson in the backcourt. So, yeah, maybe Mike Conley, does a little bit more than we expect. But this game's got a huge total of 232.5, just a 2-point spread. So that's going to be a fun game to potentially target some overs. The last game of the night is Boston versus LA, guys. This one tips off at 10 o'clock. Anthony Davis is a game time decision, but probable. LeBron James, also game time decision, but probable. Wenyen Gabriel is out. Juan Toscano Anderson also out for LA. Big total of 235 points, the largest total of the night. 235, yep, that takes the cake. They expect more points to be scored in this game than any other game. We know Boston's on a back-to-back. We saw them play last night. No Robert Williams, Danilo Gallinari, or Al Horford, so their front court is going to feature Blake Griffin, which is why I put this guy front and center for our thumbnail today. Because I think Anthony Davis should, with AD, nothing's ever promised, nothing's ever guaranteed with this guy. Seems like he gets, broken fingernail or something and has to leave the game. Or he gets a belly ache and then he has to leave the game. But Anthony Davis should absolutely take advantage of this matchup, right? An undersized, older Blake Griffin. Who else do they have behind him? Luke Cornett, Noah Vonleh. Who are they going to throw on Anthony Davis? Jason Tatum is not going to guard Anthony Davis. Blake Griffin's going to do his best. I could see Blake Griffin getting into some foul trouble. And I could see AD getting to the free throw line if he's assertive, if he plays like we know he's capable of playing. But he should be able to take advantage of this matchup, right? So AD for points. Yes, please. 26.5 points. I think that makes a lot of sense. What else do we have for Anthony Davis? Let's see here. 12.5 boards. Could go there. I think I like the points a little bit more. 2.5 assists. Not really interested in that. I see Anthony Davis just getting buckets and getting to the free throw line. His fantasy score has been pretty good. He is known to get some blocks and some steals. He had 70.5 fantasy points against the Detroit Pistons 2 days ago. Huge output. But yeah, I mean, the only person that can stop Anthony Davis is Anthony Davis, I think. I don't see anybody on Boston that can hold this man down. Other than himself, right? Other than himself. His PRA, he's hitting 3 out of his last 5. But I like this, man. His points have the highest hit rate over the last 5 games. So AD, I think, is in a very good spot today. Not to overstate it or anything, but he's at 26.5 points. We're seeing him at 27.5 on all sports books right now. The money's already coming in on the over at 27.5. He's projected for 28.2. So I'm fine with Anthony Davis for more than 26.5 points. I'm going to take Lauri Markkanen off here. So far, I mean, we got Jordan Poole over 25.5 points and assists, Giannis over 11.5 rebounds, Zion over 26.5 points, Joe Val over 9.5 rebounds, AD over 26.5 points. Getting a point of value on Anthony Davis here right now, projected for over 26.5 with 28.2. So that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more pick. Let's make it a 6 pick, and then we'll end the stream. I haven't seen anybody, with super chats or any questions or anything like that through super chat. But Bula Seed, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. Zaytoven815, appreciate you subscribing as well. Malik Parms, thank you for subscribing as well. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. LeBron James. Some of you folks are saying, what about LeBron at 26.5? Do we like LeBron more than Anthony Davis, though? Do we like LeBron James more than AD? I don't know that I do. I think Anthony Davis has the better matchup. LeBron's at 25.5. I don't hate that. But I think I like LeBron, or I think I like Anthony Davis more than I like LeBron. Roy says, fade LeBum. Why not both? You could go both. You could. You could. Not mad at that. LeBron's at 7.5 boards. Hasn't rebounded well in the last couple of games. 5.5 assists. Maybe. A few different ways, though, you could play LeBron. 40.5 PRA. He's hit this in 4 out of his last 5 games. That could be worth a look, too. Maybe he doesn't quite get, 26 points. Maybe he ends up with 24, 25 points. But he hits rebounds and assists. Embiid boards versus Kings is wild. Check it out on StatMuse. I think I already did. Did I take him off? I think I took him off. Maybe we just throw Embiid in there at 10 rebounds. Let's look at that one more time. We'll make that our final pick. Yeah, he's at 9.5 boards on the books, being bet over at 9.5. But yeah, he's rebounded very well versus Sabonis. I think we looked at this one earlier already. Where is he at? There he is. Yeah, 13. This is versus like Turner and Sabonis, but 13, 11, 12, 13, 21 boards, 10 boards, 12, 10. So against Turner, Sabonis, he's done well. So yeah, I'll throw Embiid in there. We'll make that the final pick. I don't want to put 25 on this because, 6 for 6 is hard. What, we could go 10 and win 250. We could go 15 and win 375. Let's go 20. Risk 20 to win 500. Guys, if you don't have 20, don't obviously play 20. You could play less than that. But yeah, I think this is what I'm going to go with. Jordan Poole for more than 25.5 points and assists. Giannis for more than 11.5 boards. Zion for more than 26.5 points. Joe Val for more than 9.5 boards. Anthony Davis for more than 26.5 points. And I'll go Joel Embiid for more than 10 rebounds. Yeah, I mean, you could wait for the taco. I'm not going to wait for the taco because I think some of these lines are going to move, but you could absolutely wait for the taco. I could see Anthony Davis's line getting bumped from 26.5 to 27.5. Why do I say that? Well, because Anthony Davis is already at 27.5 points on all the sports books. So I think it's just a matter of time before PrizePicks puts Anthony Davis at 27.5 as well. So I want to get AD at 26.5. That's why I'm going to wait, or not going to wait. That's why I'm going to act now rather than later, because I could see Anthony Davis getting bumped up. 26.5 on PrizePicks. He's at 27.5 on these sports books. He's already being bet over at 27.5. So why wouldn't I want to take the 26.5 while it's still there? I don't think like Joe Val is going to be bumped. They've already bumped Embiid from 9.5 boards to 10. They've already bumped Zion from 25.5 to 26.5 points. I'm still okay with that, though. But AD's probably the prime candidate to get bumped out of this entry. But yeah, you could go here. I already took the Lionel Messi taco. For those of you who are asking, I put it with Zion Williamson at 26.5 points. So I went that way with the taco. There will be more tacos. Like you guys said, I think you mentioned Joel Embiid was our next taco. Is he the one that's being voted in right now? Let's go look at it real quick. Taco bar voting. Let's pull this up. Let's pull this up on Discord. Boop. All right, so we're live in the PrizePicks Discord right now. This just got posted about an hour ago, actually. Second taco vote of the day. Just taking a look at the live voting here. We got Joel Embiid going from 30.5 points discounted down to 27.5. James Harden's PRA being discounted from 37.5 down to 34.5. Steph Curry's points discounted from 27.5 to 24.5. And we got Giannis's points from 30.5 down to 27.5. Embiid is definitely in the lead right now, which is, I think, good news for us. I think out of those four options, I feel best about Joel Embiid. God, I hope Steph Curry's points do not get voted in. Why do I say that? Well, let me show y'all. I mean, we already looked at it, but for those of you who didn't see, we looked at Steph Curry's points versus versus the Milwaukee Bucks, and it ain't pretty, guys. 8, 12, he had 41 here, 19, 20, 10. He has not done a great job when it comes to scoring points against the Milwaukee Bucks. So I'm a little relieved. I'm going to go ahead and vote for Embiid, though. I'm a little relieved that Curry's not leading the vote. Embiid from 30.5 down to 27.5. I think that's probably the best look. Let's just look at the matchup real quick. Centers versus the Sacramento Kings. This is last 7 games. Sacramento's given up about 18.8 points. That's pretty low, but you also have to consider the matchup. Like, who have they played in the last 7 games? I guarantee you they haven't played anybody quite as nice as Joel Embiid. Let's look at the season averages. Sacramento versus centers for the season. 19.9 points. All right. So it's going to be a tough matchup, but with the caliber of player that Joel Embiid is, I think we're fine. Let's look at Joel Embiid points versus Sabonis logs. All right. He scored 24. We got 32, 33, 22, 40, 20, 29, 24, 18, and 20. So a lot of these games, he was probably, again, matched up with Miles Turner. I would imagine if we opened up some of these logs here and took a look at the box scores. Yeah, Miles Turner, starting center. So he was probably matched up on Embiid in that game. This could be one of those situations where you could either take the taco over or take the original line under. Miles Turner, again, active for this one, so he probably drew the Embiid assignment. So, yeah, I don't think we've ever really seen Sabonis on Embiid and how Embiid's performed against Sabonis. It's always been Miles Turner, right? There's Miles Turner again, played 19 minutes in that game. Taking a look at this one. Player stats. Indiana, yep, Miles Turner, 32 minutes against Embiid. So you kind of see what's happening here, right? It's been Miles Turner versus Embiid for the most part. Not so much Domantas Sabonis. But I think of these taco options, I prefer Embiid probably over everyone else. Giannis versus Golden State, I mean, that was probably a pretty good one too. Giannis points versus Warriors logs. Yeah. I'll do this too. Include playoffs, just in case. Yeah, okay. So yeah, Giannis would have probably been a fine taco as well. At 27.5 points, we've seen him clear that number against the Warriors in 1, 2, 3 of his last 4. But he's had some struggles too. Like, none of these tacos should be taken as a free square. Do not come into this thinking that these tacos are going to be a free square. But, you know, with that being said, it looks like Joel Embiid is going to win the vote. He's up by over 400 votes at the moment. So let's get you a projection on Embiid's points tonight. Embiid is projected for 35 points. 35 points. That is the projection according to Fantasy Labs and Action Labs. This is their models. 35 points is what they have Embiid projected for tonight. 35.1 to be exact. The sports books have Joel Embiid at 32.5 points. He's at 32.5 points on the sports books. PrizePicks has him at 30.5, meaning we started out with a 2-point discount versus the books as it is. Now, PrizePicks, they could have been real jerks. PrizePicks could have went ahead and bumped his line up to 32.5 and then discounted from that number, but they didn't do that. They left him at 30.5 and discounted from that. You get what I'm saying? They could have easily jacked this up to 32.5 and then discounted it, but they didn't do that. So we were already getting 2 points of value at 30.5. Now we're getting an additional discount of 3 more points. So we're talking about a 5-point difference. 27.5 points once the taco hits versus 32.5 on the sports books. That's tremendous value, and he's projected for 35.1. Okay? Gotta love that. That's got to make you feel pretty good. Again, tacos are not free squares. They're not guarantees to hit. But when a guy goes from 32.5 on the sports books down to 27.5 on PrizePicks, that is a 5-point discount. You got to take it. You just got to take it and hope for the best. But yeah, I mean, I think that's it. So for those of you who are just getting here, who may not have seen, this is what I'm playing so far today. I got Zion over 26.5 points with Lionel Messi's taco, 2.5 shots. All right, and max that out, $20 power play. And then I went with this little 6-pick here. These are all looking like fine like wine type of plays. Jordan Poole without Andrew Wiggins, 80% hit rate at 25.5 points plus assists. Giannis, rebounds versus the Golden State Warriors. He's hit this in 4 out of his last 5 versus Golden State. Zion Williamson, what more needs to be said? Great matchup against the Utah Jazz tonight. But Valanciunas is a guy who's probably flying under the radar. Everybody's attention is focused on Zion. I think Jonas Valanciunas is also in a great spot against Kelly Olynyk tonight. I took the rebounds at 9.5. He's done a great job hitting this rebound number. 8 out of 11 games without Brandon Ingram this season, he's pulled down at least 10 boards. So I'm okay with that. I'm going rebounds on Joe Val, points on Zion. AD versus the Boston Celtics. We're already seeing Anthony Davis at 27.5 points on most sports books. He's at 26.5 here on PrizePicks. No Al Horford, no Robert Williams. That means Blake Griffin, Luke Cornett, and maybe some Noah Vonleh will be tasked with slowing down AD tonight. And I don't think they will. I don't think they do. And then the last one is Joel Embiid's rebounds at 10. He's done a great job rebounding against the Sacramento Kings throughout his career, against Sabonis and the Pacers as well. So I'm taking Embiid. He's at 9.5 on the books. They've already bumped him up to 10. But these are a few picks to consider. You don't have to take them in a 6-pick. You can break this down, and I advise that you do. Maybe round robin these. Create some smaller combos, 2-pick, 3-pick. You could do some 3-pick flexing. You could do some 2-pick power plays, 3-pick power plays, 4-pick flex if you want. Break these 6 picks down into some smaller entries if you're liking any of them. But I don't recommend just going all 6. I mean, I did, but I'm going to also put these in some smaller entries as well. That's what I recommend you do. Because nothing's worse than having like 4 or 5 really good picks hit. You go 4 for 6, 5 for 6, and then you don't put them in any like 2 picks or 3 picks, and you've left all these winning picks on the table only to win 0.4x or 2x your money. All right. But there you go. That's what I'm going with, guys. Those of you who are in Patreon, appreciate your support. I'll be posting some picks later on in the day as I continue my research and find more picks that I like. But this is what I'm rolling with for right now. Feel free to tail if you want. It's your money. Do with it what you will. Stay tuned for more tacos throughout the day. Happy Taco Tuesday to everybody out there. Appreciate you joining me. Catch you in the next one. Peace.